We need to be careful here to look at how God treats somebody who experienced failure. God is gracious. God blessed the ministry of Barnabas and Mark. God brought reconciliation between Paul and Mark. Paul values this young man, Mark. And his failure didn't mean that God shelved him. But maybe there was something Mark needed to learn. He needed to regroup. He needed to see something. And he was brought on in an encouraging environment. Barnabas is son of encouragement. We know his name is. It's lovely when there's a Barnabas comes along, isn't there? And ministers to a young person like Mark who needed that. He needed an arm around his shoulder. He needed somebody to walk him through, someone to still believe in him, could see God's call on his life and says, come on, don't be put off by that. Don't let the enemy discourage you to the point of you giving up. That's not what God wants for us. You know, when we read the Bible, we see some of God's people experience real failure, moments of failure. Look at Moses. When he was called to do something, he tried to do it, maybe slightly in the flesh, deliver his people. And he tried to avenge the Egyptian who was beating the Hebrews and that. And, you know, he ended up killing the guy and he had to flee. Did that mean, well, you messed up, Moses, so I can't use you? No. God worked on Moses. God did an incredible work, and God used Moses to go back and deliver a people out of bondage. God had a wonderful plan for Moses. And yes, Moses had to learn a bit. That's okay. We need to be people who's open to learn. And so be careful to be a humble people. We want to be humble and teachable. And it's great to see God as a gracious God. I read this piece, and just as I was preparing this, I came across this, and I'm just going to read it to you. I thought it was very encouraging. He had less than 3 years of formal education, and he failed in business in 1831. He was defeated for the state legislature in 32 and failed again in business in 34. Finally elected to the state legislature in 35, he ran for speaker and lost in a landslide. He was defeated again for elector in 40, defeated again for Congress in 43. He was elected in 46 and removed within 2 years of office. Defeated again in a re-election attempt in 48. Failed in business once again, so he ran for the Senate, was defeated in 55. He ran for vice president in 56 and was defeated. He was defeated for the Senate another time in 58. Then in 1860, Abraham Lincoln won. Went on to become, perhaps in some people's eyes, one of the greatest, I suppose, political leaders in American history. Don't let times of failure hold you back. God is a gracious God. And God uses all things together for good for those who love Him. Those are called according to His plans and purposes. Our part in that, to love God with all of our hearts, minds, strength, our souls. Just love Him completely. And don't let failures throw us off. You know, in our passage, John Mark, he blew it. God was gracious and God used him. Moses blew it. God was gracious and God powerfully used him. And you know, just for us all, I just want to encourage you that God is faithful. He will complete the work that He started in us. And if He's called us to step up and step out into ministry in that, don't let discouragements throw you off that. You hang on to the promises of God. You stay with us. Keep a soft and humble heart before the Lord. Keep a teachable spirit before God. And allow God to work in your life for His glory. And may there be many testimonies come from even this congregation as God uses us, broken, flawed people, but uses us for His glory.